Okay, the second spotlight session. Welcome, everybody. We're going to talk to a guy that likes to travel. We're going to talk to a guy that likes to enjoy cooking, and maybe he can bring us the sweets next time. Mr. Zach Underwood, can you please tell us all about sales and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. Starts. All right. Thanks, Piero. Everyone, thank you for having me and letting me have a bit of a chat to you today about lead generation. So a little bit of a quick background on myself, and then we'll sort of jump straight in because I know we've only got 8 minutes. My name is Zach Underwood, and I'm a fractional sales manager. So I work with B2B service-based businesses and tech businesses to create like a repeatable sales process so they can consistently grow revenue. So today we're going to be talking about lead generation that works. So a quick question for you before we sort of get started, and if I can get you guys to type yes or no into the comments, but if all your referrals for your business dried up tomorrow, would your sales pipeline survive? So if you can pop a yes or a no into the question, into the comments box for me there, that'd be great. We've got a few yeses. Yes, that's good. Hopefully, probably not. So a bit of a mixed bag for that one. So I guess, the problem that we're going to talk about is like, I guess, relying on just on referrals. So like not having any sort of structured outreach, having a bit of an ad hoc strategy. Most of the founders that I talk to or I work with say that they're just not getting enough leads to grow their business. So often their lead strategy kind of looks like post some content on LinkedIn, manifest some leads, wait for a referral, and then hope. But then, the bad news really is hope it's not really a strategy. So if you're just relying on leads coming in, you're going to be unlikely to scale your business. So what's the fix? Some outbound. Outbound puts you back in control. So instead of waiting for your next referral, you want to go directly to the people you can help with a message that speaks to their pain point. So this builds consistency and predictability. But I guess a lot of people are, scared to go to outbound. They go, oh, this might be unsolicited, or it comes across as sort of being really salesy. But if you don't do the spray and pray method, which is where you just buy a list of leads online and then send out a bunch of emails, that is actually spam. But if you define exactly what your ideal customer profile is, so like the customers that you want more of, find the buying personas within those businesses. So that might be the finance manager or the business owner or the head of marketing. And then you find a problem that they're likely to have and then do some direct outreach to them that has a message that talks about a problem that they have and a problem that's, a bit of a pain point, not a problem that could be solved in a couple of years' time, and then talk about it and then go back to them with a message that has some value. Then you're going to get a good response. It's not going to be salesy, and you'd be surprised at what you sort of get back. So the foundation, as I sort of just mentioned there, ideal customer profile, sort of best fit company traits, personas, those people that you're targeting in, and then sort of, I guess, focus on those two roles that are there that are most relevant for. So this is where most founders and small businesses are probably going wrong. Without that clarity of their ICP and the buying personas, most of the outreach that they do will sort of fail. So the way that you can work out what your ICP is start by looking at the customers that you have at the moment that are the best customers, like which are the customers that you want more of. So sometimes when I talk about this, a lot of people think about that's niching down. So it is, in a sense, niching down, but you don't have to just have one niche. You can work in, across multiple niches, but start with one that you want to target. Do some sort of sector that you're really good at. So, if we talk about Thurinder's example, he's talking about SEO. He could talk and say, look, I've worked with a whole lot of photographers all across the country, and I've done really, really well for them. And then Michael, for example, is going to go, oh, he's helped photographers. I'm going to be able to work with him rather than going, oh, I've just helped all SEO in every sort of business. You're talking about your expertise and how you've actually really helped that individual kind of business. So with that, once you've found who you're going to go after and who you're sort of going to target, that's where you can, connect with people on LinkedIn. So you want to start showing up on their radar, engage with their content. and then let them see your content. You don't want to kind of just connect with someone and then drop them a message straight away. Like it's like the pitch slap. You may have heard it being called, where you probably all have been pitch slaps, where someone connects with you and then they just send you a message listing all the services that they provide. Do any of you actually read those messages? Probably not. They're really long. They're like half a page, and you just kind of either unfriend or unconnect with the person, or sort of move on. So, still connect with those people, but after being connected with them for a month and engaging with some of their content, and then potentially engaging with some of your content, then you can drop them a short message that offers them some value that's about them, not just about listing the services that you offer. So, for example, you might have a white paper if you work in the tech space and you've been written for the MSP market, and you could ask them and go, look, I've got this white paper. Would you be interested? Don't send the link to them straight away. Ask them if they're interested. Get them to be curious. Get them to respond. You don't want to send everything all in one go. And then you can also look at, doing emails, which goes along the same side. So with an email cadence, or sequence, you might call it, sending out that value, and not just talking about the services that you offer, but, talking about the problems that you solve. So, if it was, again, Thurinder, I'm just going to use you as an example again. I'm just sort of going off the cuff here. You're trying to sell to a photographer. So you're going to be, emailing those people and go, hi, Mr. Photographer. We've worked with a lot of photographers over the last several years, or what have you. They always find that their results are not sort of coming up, or they're getting, inbound leads that are coming from people that aren't in the local area. We've helped photographers come up with local search results, and have been getting customers that are in their local area and are good quality sort of leads. So you're talking about your previous experience, how well you've done for them, and it's been sort of short, sharp, and specific, rather than just listing all the services that you sort of offer. So some of the mistakes to avoid, as I sort of mentioned in my previous slides, I'm a little back on each of the slides, but so the spray and pray method, that's where you just get a big list and just do a whole lot of outreach. Quantity doesn't just work, but also you need to have quality and some quantity, making sure that it's sort of really consistent. You don't need to over personalize messages, as long as you're talking about the value for that particular persona within that type of business. So, using AI to over the message and going, oh, look, I saw you posted about this. That's really cool. And then you try and sell them something afterwards. People know that it's AI, or that you're just, trying to use their business name a whole lot of times. People are getting really clever now about what's sort of been there. So even if your message is not super personalized, as long as it's relevant and providing value to them, you're going to be more likely to get a response. Any questions for me? And also, if you'd like to do our free 4-minute B2B sales scorecard, you can jump online. It takes you only 4 minutes, and it'll give you some insights into your overall sales function. And then if you're keen to jump on a call, we can do a bit of a debrief if you're interested.
I have a question, if there's time.
Sure, Bryna.
Yeah. So with LinkedIn connections, so obviously we're not going to send them a paragraph and in the connection request, but what do you say in a connection request if it is somebody that you don't actually know or haven't met directly or something?
Yeah, statistically, it's best to leave a connection request blank. You have the highest connection acceptance rate by leaving the message blank.
Nice.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, you create curiosity.
Saved me a lot of time just now.
Yeah, why are they connecting with me? They get curious. So you're creating curiosity and making people, you're going to get a better result.
But I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I don't have a question. I've got a testimonial for you on the scorecard. I actually went for the scorecard a few months ago, and it got me thinking about how my process was structured. So it was really helpful. Jump in there and do it. It's free, and yeah, it'll get you thinking about, are you doing the right thing?
And I've just put my details in the chat for you there, in case you don't want to get your phone out and do the QR code.
Yeah, I was
there's
actually going to
my-
give you a testimonial as well, mate. Like I've worked with Zach before, and he just knows what he's talking about. So do the scorecard first and yeah,
Yeah.
have a crack.
Thanks, PJ.